Good morning everyone. This is Kaylin Kamikawa. This time, how to create YouTube subtitles with almost only smartphones, iPhone and Android. Moreover, I would like to introduce how to create it at super high speed. Actually, the work of adding YouTube subtitles is YouTube Studio. If it is a PC, you can create it by selecting subtitles from https://studio.youtube.com/ for smartphones such as iPhone. Bugs have been removed since iOS 13.0 on September 28, 2019. Finally, by making Safari etc. a PC version site and accessing YouTube Studio, you can now add subtitles. However, I will never forget the moment when iOS 14.0 was reached around 5 a.m. Japan time on September 17, 2020. Even if I tried a subtitle on the PC version site, the scene to read the video is frozen. I couldn't read it, and even if I asked for corrections many times after that, it didn't fix. It is still unusable even now. But this doesn't mean it can't be used at all. Timestamp cannot be modified. Subtitle file cannot be downloaded. Although there are problems such as uploading subtitles and automatic translation can be used somehow. However, I think that iOS 15.0 will be announced soon, so I hope it will be improved. Aside from that, this time I would like to introduce it as a method to create subtitles only on iPhone by using this remaining usable function. And not just create super fast. So to speak, I will introduce what is called Kaylin's subtitle creation method, although no one calls it this time. Let's go now. 1. First, how to transcribe the text from the audio of the video. If it's my video, I think there is a manuscript I talked about. So in that case, use the text directly. Only when there is no manuscript will it be transcribed. In that case, transcription accuracy has the greatest effect on the subtitle creation work time. In my experience, the most accurate is first place Microsoft Word, completely free, accuracy 98.57%. Second place Nada, 1500 yen per month, accuracy 97.91%. Third place Brew, completely free, accuracy 96.98%. Fourth place Texter, 1000 yen per month, accuracy 96.66%. Fifth place YouTube Automatic Generation, free, accuracy 93%. With the above results, I highly recommend the free Microsoft Word. But for Word, for now, it is not possible to transcribe from a video file, MP4, or audio file, MP3. It is also not possible to play a video with PIP and read the audio inside the iPhone with Word. Due to the specifications, text can be converted only from external audio, so play the video on a PC, or another smartphone, and play it. Place your smartphone next to it. Start Word and transcribe it from your voice. Well, it's a bit ugly. Because it's free, please bear with that point. However, as a caveat, do not vacuum the side. Also, do not leave the TV on. In other words, if you work quietly so that you can hear the voice, the transcription accuracy will improve. 2. Correct typographical errors and separate phrases. We will correct typographical errors in the transcribed text and separate the phrases. This is manual, but in which app do you work with this? Actually, this point is also a point to be particular about in order to shorten the work time. A. Work in Word as is. B. Copy to the Memo app and work. There are two possible ways. I recommend working in Word as is in a. Because Word has a function called character type conversion. For example, uppercase alphanumeric characters to lowercase letters, full width characters to half width characters. Start the sentence with uppercase letters and then lowercase letters. Change Chinese numerals to Arabic numerals. You can easily do that. Word is recommended because these fixes can be quite time-consuming. If you don't like Word, you can use another memo app. I use Word when modifying transcribed manuscripts. When I write my own manuscript, I use a text editor called Liquid Logic. The reason is that Word and Liquid Logic also clearly see the line feed symbol. This line feed symbol indicates the farewell of the phrase when creating subtitles. For example, if there is a line feed mark at the right end of one line, there may be unintended bunsetsu splits. Without the line feed symbol, the phrase cannot be separated if it is just a character wrapping. If the line feed mark is not displayed, it cannot be determined whether or not there is a line feed. Also, it is safer to put 2 line break marks as instructions to separate the clauses. That is, the separation between clauses is to put 1 or more blank lines. Normally, if there is a line feed mark, the clause will be separated there. Some apps cannot be separated unless 2 line feed marks are inserted. Subtitle Edit, used on a PC is such an application. It seems that 1 line break distinguishes between a paragraph line break within one phrase and 2 line breaks that separate the phrase. Well, it looks clear, so insert 2 or more line feed marks between clauses. It looks like it has 1 blank line. Also, as a point to note when separating phrases, it is a good idea to keep 1 phrase within 2 lines. The reason is that if you exceed 2 lines, the subtitles will look bad on the screen. It's just a personal preference, but I want to stick to it here. But YouTube subtitles what font size the viewer is using, which app is being viewed. There is no correct answer as to how many characters per line and how many lines per clause should be. Well, in common sense, in Japanese, double byte. I think that subtitles are easy to read, with 22 characters per line and up to 2 lines per phrase. And when further dividing the segment, you need to consider whether the text is easy to understand when translated. Satisfying these two at the same time can be difficult, but at that time, please like it, such as about 3 lines www. The answer depends on the person and the taste. While taking such things into consideration, while dividing the clauses, then correct the typographical errors and complete the subtitled manuscript. 3. Add a timestamp. Matching the display time of audio and subtitles as expressed as timestamping. This was a difficult task, but now it's on smartphones and computers. Automatic caption synchronization function is now available. It's really easy to timestamp. This function was released by Google so that it can be used in YouTube Studio from around 2011. In Japanese, punctuation marks disappear, and line breaks occur when the number of characters exceeds 16 without permission. The third line was not a very usable substitute because the phrases were divided arbitrarily. It's perfect in English, but not in Japanese. Moreover, I was only able to speak English and Japanese at that time. But now, in Japanese, it's an app called Vru, and it's free. It is now possible to timestamp perfectly, almost as intended. However, there are some parts that are off by a few seconds and will need to be manually corrected later. Thank you Vru! Nada also had this function, SRT file creation function. With this version upgrade, that function has been deleted without permission. This made me crazy. Delete the one I'm using as a regular user without permission. Let's improve. Let's do this Nada. Ellipsis. Excuse me, I said too much. I don't use Nada anymore, so, let me introduce you to the work in Vru. To describe the method concretely, load the video with Vru and transcribe it. However, Vru also has a habit, and if the volume is low or there is noise such as echo, not only will it not be transcribed well, but timestamps will not be well stamped. Transcription with as clean voice and volume as possible. B. Select Import Manuscript from the menu on the upper left, and copy and paste the manuscript created in 2 here. If you want to use the Vru transcription as it is, click Load Current Subtitles. C. Click Finish and confirm. Now you can correct typographical errors and timestamp them as you intended. 4. Correct the timestamp deviation. In order to quickly correct the slight deviation of the timestamp, I extract the SRT file here, not Vru. Move it to your PC. I am fixing it with an app called Subtitle Edit. If you want to create subtitles only on iPhone, you can only fix it with this Vru. Make full use of clip combination, clip division, word division, etc. in Vru. Please correct the slight deviation of the timestamp manually. I don't think it's possible to make a perfect correction. If you get too nervous here and try to correct the 0.1 second gap, the quality of the subtitles will be excessive. It's just a waste of time, so be convinced where appropriate. 5. Extract the subtitles as an SRT file. From the menu on the upper right, select Subtitles, SRT, Export, and Save to File. Give it a file name. The extension will automatically be SRT, and save it on your iPhone. 6. Upload. Make Safari a PC version site and click Subtitles, on the YouTube Studio site. Select the language, in this case, Japanese, in Add Language. Click Add, and then Upload File. Select with timecode, click Continue, Browse, and then click Please specify the created SRT file. Then click Publish in the upper right. This completes the upload and the subtitles are complete. 7. Automatic translation. Here's how to translate subtitles into other languages. If there is subtitles in the language specified in video language, then you can use automatic translation to automatically translate to other languages. However, if you only have automatically generated subtitles, you cannot use this automatic translation. Please note this point. Specify another language in Add Language. Click Add, click Automatic Translation, and click Publish to complete. By repeating the above operations, you can automatically translate into many languages. The above is the method to add YouTube subtitles only with a smartphone, iPhone or Android. Did you understand that you can create subtitles with just Word, the Memo app, and Vru? Well, I'm using a PC when transcribing Word. If you don't have another device, use a Vru or not a transcribed manuscript. If you're not particular about it, you can upload it to YouTube Studio with just one Vru www. That's all.